championship game. Off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Willis going to look to throw first play. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Second down throw coming by Willis. Over the middle, complete. That's Kelly. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
A 3rd and 2. Here's Willis. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to throw. Bowen. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a gain of 35.
I don't think anyone would argue that having that extra week definitely helps come playoff time. And those were some fresh legs right there. That extra practice time and planning, certainly in evidence.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They give to Taylor out of the gun. Taken down at the 30.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know you're trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
This is going to be the matchup to watch out on the perimeter, and it won't be the last time these two go at it. Both of them believe they are the superior. In this case, the win goes to the defense.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
Blankenship's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
But you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Now Willis on 1st and 10. Over the middle, complete to Judy. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Now Willis on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 28. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
3.5 to go, first quarter. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Willis. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. Touchdown! Chigakakwo, 28 yards. And the Titans are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first quarter lead. And Johnson's extra point up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Here's Johnson set and ready to kick this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. At their own 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Out to the right and complete to Pittman. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 yards for number 11.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 69 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
They'll look to run with Taylor. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Rodrigo Blankenship and the Colts field goal unit comes on. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Blankenship's kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
That tackle by Jeffrey Simmons. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends are like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. A 3rd field goal in the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points in the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. And if we go back to the last series, remember their coverage, allowed them to get a turnover in the last drive, a takeaway, and that helped contribute to a sack on this one. I think maybe this quarterback's a little...
Under pressure, they got him again. Micah Parsons. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackman.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a single corner and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Up the middle. Here's Taylor. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 76 yards rushing for him now as he has been strong here in the first half of this divisional round matchup. That was huge after being behind the chains on 1st down to make this second very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on 1st down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on 2nd down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, stand ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he is going to have a Colts first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. 1st and 10, Taylor now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's the option. Running right. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it. Most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Jonathan Taylor, a touchdown machine. He's going to get plenty of looks down here near the goal line. So if I'm on defense, I might start getting prepared to see his number called a couple of more times.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's 3rd down. They're going to run this with a tight end. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Rodrigo Blankenship for the Colts field goal. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. Blankenship's kick is good. And that will push the lead up to 12-7. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Micah Parsons able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. And he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job.
Willis throws another interception, his 3rd of the game. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
On the counter, it's Taylor. And he is going to be stopped up at the line of scrimmage. And we'll have a stoppage as well as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Second down, another run with Taylor. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 86 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. 39 yards. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On first down, Willis. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
We saw these guys have some big plays in their wild card win last week, and they're certainly going to need to continue to put up plays like we just saw there if they hope to continue to move on in these playoffs.
Willis takes a hit and the ball is free. And the Colts pick it up. Taking it right down Broadway. He's at the 30. 10. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
The Titans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Blankenship's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So it's on to halftime of this AFC Divisional Round matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC Divisional Round. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's
caught at the 25. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Off the RPO, he completes it. Touchdown, Colts! A great play there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Colts continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
Fair catch. Made at the 25-yard line. The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. With that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. That was a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Now Willis on 3rd down. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Micah Parsons. My goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded at about the 28. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
A good gain on 1st has them set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
From the gun on 3rd down. Bowen. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Caleb Farley. And the Titans are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked.
And nowhere to run for Willis. He goes down. Micah Parsons in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7. The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Second down, Willis looks to throw here. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Micah Parsons in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with a late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. Tough spot for Willis and the Titans, now facing 3rd and long following the sack. They'll set up a throw. And my goodness, another interception. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Bowen. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one good for 26 and a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now a give to Taylor. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
104 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this divisional round matchup. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, Hines, a loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that a team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. Jedrick Wills, former first-round pick, guilty there. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. To throw, here's Willis. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it's going to be 3rd down and forever.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Well, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. That's caught left side by Judy. 19 yards is the pickup there, but even with that, they're well short. It's 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. 43 yards. And the Colts are drawing closer to a date in the AFC title game as they extend this 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To the air on 1st down, here's Willis. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The 2 big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Willis will look to throw on 1st down. This will go to Henry out wide. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Man, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
This offense on 3rd down today, they've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And some space here. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry, 33 yards. Johnson for the extra point try. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. Here's Johnson set and ready to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And it would appear that that first-round bye certainly helped. They've looked fresh from the start and no letdown here as they lead big in this divisional round, and they look to book a spot in the conference championship. Play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now it's Hines. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They run again with Hines. And some room to maneuver. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Muscle burst right there.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. This is Hines. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
They run with Hines, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. 3rd down, it's Willis. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Willis got to have this one. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
He's brought down at the 47-yard line. yards on the pickup.
On second and a couple. Willis caught right side. It's Lewis. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
To throw on second and 10. Willis. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Micah Parsons in there yet again. They just cannot block him. He now has 8 sacks, and that is a new single-game record. Tough spot for Willis and the Titans, now facing 3rd and long following the sack. They're going to look to throw. They set up the screen for Henry. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not one bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
One final try for Willis. And he can't escape, and down he goes. So the Colts will play again next weekend. Thanks for watching, everybody, and so long.